What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Horror Hangout. We got a special guest in the house. Jamie's back with us. We're going to talk about a movie today this is Korean, correct?
Taiwanese.
Just kidding. A Taiwanese horror movie called The Sadness, that when I saw the trailer, I was immediately aroused. Like, just full on, bah! But this is the kind of stuff I like. This is exactly the kind of movie that I'm interested in. It's basically a zombie movie, but not really a zombie movie. Sorry. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about it today. I got a Gore score written up for it, so we'll get into that. But we're gonna talk about the movie first. Go ahead, and I'm just gonna let you guys know we're gonna talk about the movie probably in pretty significant detail. So if you don't want to be spoiled about anything, this probably isn't the video for you. If you don't really care about that kind of thing, hang out with us, man. It's going to be fun. I'll try to make it not an hour and 20 minutes this time, but no promises. Your boy doesn't know how to shut up, and I'm pretty sure y'all know that by now. All right, man. So, yeah, what's up, Jamie? How are you today, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Good.
Hell yeah. Sorry for the delay. I'm a little late to the party today. I had to take care of some other stuff. I didn't want to put it off for like another day because I just have too much stuff going on, and we scheduled it for today. I was like, let me just get my shit done and man up and get over here and sit down at the chair. But after sitting down for a minute and actually listening to that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing kind of pumped me up, dude. I was like, let's go. I'm tired of stupid bitches. I won't get canceled for that, but like, if you're not a stupid bitch, I'm pretty sure you know. And if you are a stupid bitch, I'm pretty sure you know. So, if you are one of those people, then fuck right off. I don't care. Man, this isn't a very family-friendly channel. Whatever. It is what it is. So The Sadness came out, I think it came out last year. Just got streaming rights this year. It's on SHUDDER, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's been really weird, like trying to get hold of it.
Man, dude, you ain't kidding, bro. So it was strange too, because you sent me that DVD, and like the day I got it, they announced it was going to be on SHUDDER like the next week, and I was like, what the fuck? But I mean, whatever. If you don't want that DVD back, I'll keep it and put it in a hard case. I've already got an idea. I'm gonna make some artwork for it.
Yeah, no, keep it. I've still got the 4K. So
that's what I thought. I was making sure. I don't want to make assumptions. I do that, and you're like, nah, fool, just give it back, asshole. Like, I'm sorry, but yeah, dude. So this movie is crazy, and it's not real. Let me find my phone. Hold on. It's not really a super long movie. And it trucks along at a pace, bro. This is not a slow movie. A lot of times you'll get movies 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, but 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I don't really care about either of those very much, to be honest, but that's pretty funny. All I was looking for was the runtime. It's about 95 minutes of actual movie time. That's perfect for a movie like this too.
Yeah, not too deep, not too long.
No. This one.
Lots of action and
yeah, it starts going like 5 minutes in. Actually, the cool part is how they because you know how in a movie like this you have to get to the story. So let me give y'all a quick synopsis of what's going on. Basically, it's a COVID movie, and except when you got COVID, you turn into like a. Has anybody seen the movie called Mayhem? Have you seen that one, Jamie?
No, I don't think so.
It's this movie here. It's not open because I've already watched it like 10 times, but the 4K was real cheap. It's basically, if you've seen Mayhem, it's like Mayhem turned up to 10. This is really great, though. This is a movie where Samara Weaving and Stephen Yeun, they are in a like giant tower of, office building place, and a toxic thing breaks out. They get put on lockdown. Everybody starts going mad and murdering each other. Very similar synopsis to the one we're talking about now, except this one is like citywide. It's not contained in a building. This one's more like a zombie movie meets what's that action movie that everybody talks about? It's the Asian one where the guys go up in the tower. Damn it, what's it called? I watch it all the time. It's like a one word. The Raid, yeah. It's like The Raid meets a zombie movie is what this one is, and this one is like if you open that up to being the entire city. As I throw my 4Ks around. Yeah, this movie is badass, dude. It starts off with this kid and this girl talking in their apartment, and they're, they got like, a spat, a lover's spat. Not a big deal. and then they make up and they're gonna go to work, and he's gonna drop her off, go home. He's gonna cook for her. As they're driving into work on a little moped, they see like, wasn't it like a cop and a dude, but they looked kind of off. Like they were like, one was like seething basically. They were like, it was a fucking
Yeah, it was like an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an accident, but like there was people doing some shit that was a little weird. Like one dude was like super angry and like trying to fight, and one guy was getting thrown against a car, and it was like, that's odd. But there was like dead people around and shit. At least it looked like it might have been an accident, but it also might not have been an accident. Is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, okay, foreshadowing. That's nice. And dude, like maybe 5 minutes later, we're full on into this movie. How does he get? So he drops her off. He's leaving.
Yeah, he goes back to the cafe to get like a coffee.
That's what it was. He goes back to the cafe. Dude, he's talking. Man, that cafe scene was badass, man. He's in there and he's like, oh, that's what it was. So y'all see the lady, the long-haired situation in the bottom corner of the screen? I can't tell if it's a dude or a lady. Whatever.
I think it's a lady because he calls her grandma, doesn't he?
That's true. Yeah.
Because that bloke goes up to him and says, "Are you all right?" And she just throws up on him.
It's so gross. But well, he sees her at the very beginning of the movie when old Buddy's standing out on his patio after his girl's getting ready for work. He sees her out on a different building, like, I don't know, a block or two away. They're way up above the ground. And she turns around. She's got blood all over her, like you see in the picture here. And he's like, what the fuck? He goes, hey. And she doesn't move. He's just like, what the fuck? His girl talks to him for a second. He turns back around. She's gone. He's like, whatever. You know, it's one of those situations where it's weird, but you're like, maybe somebody got a hold of her. It was their grandmother. Maybe they got hurt and they're taking her to get some help. So he basically goes, all right, whatever. So whenever he turns around and it's her at the cafe and shit just kind of hits the fan, one dude gets doesn't she dump the grease on the guy behind the counter? And then
she grabs him.
She grabs like hot fry grease and dumps it on his head and then starts pulling his face off. Dude, it was badass, man. It was so awesome and fucking gross.
The effects in this were great, though.
Oh, man. Oh, dude. Wait till you get to the gore score. This movie was great, man.
The few bits were a bit OTT, maybe.
Do what?
Some of the blood, like shooting out, like in the train and stuff.
Oh, over the top? You saying over the top?
Yeah. Just
very anime-esque.
Yeah.
Very anime-esque. But I mean, a lot of Asian film is, I mean, it's like that. And that's one of the things that I like about it is that when they do bloody stuff, they do bloody stuff. Like motherfuckers are just covered in it, and it's great. So like a fight breaks out at the cafe. Dude gets his face ripped off, basically. And one of the main characters, the main male character, escapes. He gets back to his apartment. He plugs in his phone, or he gets his phone or something, and he's doing something. And his neighbor from next door attacks him. And we're giving you the short version. A lot of little things go on in between this stuff, but you know, watch the movie.
One of my favorite things happened.
The shears.
No, just before that. So just after he came out of the restaurant, he was followed by the old woman, and then she gets hit by a car.
Oh yeah.
Some woman throws herself out the window.
Oh, dude.
That was probably my favorite bit in the film.
Hold on one second. Hey, Carissa, come here real quick. Dude, watch this. This is funny. Yo, dude. Hey, what did I tell you was my favorite part of the movie last night?
What was it, the skull fuck?
No, not the skull fuck, but no, the lady jumping off the building, remember?
Yes.
No, that was my favorite part too.
Yay!
She's like, ah! And dude, when she hits the ground, it looked like they took a dummy and weighted it down to actually be like 130 pounds and chucked it off this thing because it hit the ground and it looked real. It was like blah 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 blah. Like so for context, I've seen a video of a man that climbed up a electrical tower and he wrapped a belt around his neck and stepped off of it and was hanging by it, and the belt snapped, and he went ping, 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 and he hit like 3 pieces of metal, and when he hit the ground, he did exactly that. It was like blah blah, and now I saw it was a really far away shot. My friend was a videographer for a news channel, and he just got called up to a place. He ended up being an extra, and they didn't retrieve his tape. He just had this tape, and he was like, "Yo, you got to see this shit." And I was like, "Where in the hell did that happen at?" Anyways, that was like almost 20 years ago. That's a long time ago. It was on like an actual VHS tape. But yeah, that part was crazy, dude. Sorry, I had to call her. I couldn't believe when you said that. It reminded me immediately. That was like my favorite part of the whole movie too, because it was just so like, oh shit, like what just happened? Yeah, I'm surprised that you like that part that much. That's cool. Hell yeah.
I mean, that was kind of like, I mean, I know we just had the scene with the sort of face being clawed off, but that was the kind of, it was almost like the start gun for everything else that followed. Like,
no, I think you're right about that. That was definitely the pow, let's go. Like, because as soon as that happens, shit hits the fan, man. Like in the cafe, you can write that off as like just a psychopath coming in there, or a crazy person coming in and doing something psycho. Not that, and then a person jumping off this thing, and then you're getting chased by a no, dude, shit's bad now. It's awesome. And yeah, bro, how did I forget about that part? My memory is that bad. I watched this movie, I don't know, not even 12 hours ago. No, 15 hours ago or so, something like that. Not that long ago. I should have written that down as like my favorite part, because I wrote a few things down. But anyhow, he goes into the house and he's like trying to get a hold of his girl and ask her like, "Hey, where you at? What's going on?" And his neighbor breaks in and attacks him with some. He was out. His neighbor at the beginning of the movie, they're on the patio talking. Him and his neighbor. His neighbor's doing like some like patio gardening, and he's got like herbs, a little herb garden up there, and he's trimming his stuff up. And he's just talking. He's got some. What kind of basil was it again?
Thai basil.
Was it Thai basil? He had like extra Thai basil he's going to give him. But you can see, if you're paying attention, you can see his neighbor's got like really red rimmed eyes just towards the center. But they did it really well, because it wasn't like it was a big circle. It was just right there. And you could tell he's either not feeling well. And then when you get later in the movie, you realize that, oh no, he already had this disease, or whatever you want to call it, virus or whatever. And the movie, they handled it just like COVID for the most part. It was really weird. And I was telling Carissa that if COVID didn't exist, neither would this movie, at least not in this current form.
Yeah, probably not.
But they start fighting and shit, and the neighbor takes some shears and he's gonna go, like stab him, and Buddy puts his hand up and catches him. And the whole time he was doing that, I was just like this. I was like, oh god damn it. I was like, what's fixing to happen? I thought he was gonna get like through his hand or something. I don't like that shit, man. There's a few things that I don't like with that. But what happens was he cuts off two of his fingers, and I was like, oh, so much worse. Oh my god, that's so much worse. And what does old Buddy do after that, though?
He has a chew on them.
Oh, dude gets on the ground, crawls around, and puts one in his mouth and starts chewing on it. And I was like,
oh, I'm not sewing that back on.
Fucking right. Bro, I'm sitting there watching the movie, right? And I had forgotten that he did the eat thing, man. And I'm like talking to Chris, and I was like, oh god, dude, like it's just something about that is so gross, dude. Like if you'd cut off like a pig's hoof and then stuck it in your mouth, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty nasty. But we eat pork. But cutting off a finger of a dude and then eating it, not even eating it, just chewing on it for a minute, like, and he spits it in his fucking his
fish tank,
and then it just like floats to the bottom. It looked like a severed dick when it was floating around at the bottom of that fish tank, though. Yeah, bro, this movie was wild. So he basically tapes his hand up, gets out of dodge. That fight was really good, though. Didn't he kick the guy in the chest really hard?
That's how he ended up on the floor.
That's right. Yeah, dude, that fight was a good fight for like in a house fight with two guys.
Whacked him with the toaster.
With a toaster, bro. Fucked him up bad. And that's when he crawls over and eats the finger, huh? Or am I?
Yeah, I think he kicks him, he eats the finger.
And then he hits him with the toaster.
And he hits him.
The toaster sound was good. Whoever did that Foley art was great, because it sounded gnarly. I think at this point it cuts back to the girl, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think
it's a few minutes before we see what she's up to. Yeah, what she's up to. She's on the this movie just fucking goes, dude. There is no slowdown, man. She gets on this train, and she's very attractive. She's a very pretty young lady. Yeah. And I thought it was funny that she was like the only one not wearing a mask, and I was like, I see what you're doing, director. she sits next to this old man, and I'll be honest, dude, the old man's the guy with the axe in the other part of this picture. So up until he becomes this guy, I thought he was in the right because he was just talking to her. Was he a little weird? Yeah, but like he had seen her on the train a bunch of times apparently, and I guess look, I rode the bus for years, like almost 15 years. I rode the bus everywhere I went, and so I had routes where I would ride, and I would see the same people all the time, and so occasionally I would just talk to them, or they would talk to me, or something would happen where we'd go, hey, do you see that yada yada at the bus stop earlier? Or, whatever, right? So I was feeling like she was kind of being a stuck-up asshole. And for a bit. But like I think he was just crushing on her. And then he just tells her she's pretty, and then he's just like shooting the shit with her, right? But she's just being like, I want to read my book. And fucking, although I do understand that, I get wanting to be left alone too. So like I really saw both sides of that coin. I thought this is just a pair of people that don't need to be close to each other because they're not going to get along. They're too different, But neither of them were technically in the wrong, I didn't think.
Well, I think it started off pretty friendly. Like he was just like,
hey, what you reading?
What you doing? But then like, I think she was all right at the start, but I think as soon as he kind of went, oh, I think you're really pretty. She was like, all right, that's enough. And then he touched her, and then.
But he was like, he didn't touch her like.
No.
Like this, he just went like he was like tapping her, like an excuse me type of thing, right? Like, and I'm just so fucking tired of people overreacting. I think that's really what my problem is that she like said she was gonna get him in trouble for sexual harassment, and I just thought, because I had something happen to me once. It wasn't a sexual harassment thing. I got fired from a job for something that I did that was like this, that they ended up making it to seem like this. I was walking by a person throwing a virtually weightless piece of plastic wrap in the air. I turned a corner, ran into somebody, it hit her in the shoulder. I said, excuse me. She laughed. Ultimately, what happened was the manager got her to sign a piece of paper saying that I threw it at her. So like, that's what I felt was happening to this guy. She was acting as if he did something crazy and he didn't. And then he starts muttering to himself, and I was laughing my ass off. He's like, you fucking cunt. I was like, oh shit. Like, he's like, he just starts getting mad. And I'm like, I feel you, bro. Like, yeah, people are ridiculous. But then he just keeps going with it. And I'm like, oh shit, never mind. Oh, this guy's lost his mind. Like I went from being on his team to like jumping ship real quick. I turncoat that motherfucker real fast. I was like, no, let's go. Oh shit. No, it was him. Like real quick, dude. I was snitching that boy. But yeah. Yeah, that train ride was wild. And then that dude gets on the train with the glasses on. And the glasses weren't suspicious at first until it panned over to him and he was just staring straight ahead. And you could see the red under his eyes underneath the glasses. And then he cried. And you're like, oh, that's the sign that people are losing it, is that they know they're losing it. And they cry and then they lose their shit. And then he just starts, he pulls out that knife. And everybody on the train's just like, they're arguing. People, it's kind of an awkward situation. Then out of nowhere, dude, he just jabs old buddy in the neck. He's just like, they're like paying attention to a separate situation. And then it's like the peripheral.
He stabs a few people, doesn't he, before he gets the guy in the neck?
Did he?
He's just he's standing there, and then he like sticks one guy in the back.
That's what it was. It was in the back. The first one was in the back, but it was like in a peripheral though. It wasn't like it was right in front of you. It was like
you couldn't.
Yeah, you couldn't see the knife go in. You just saw like the arm movement. But it's like they were trying to make you pay attention to two things at once to kind of throw you off, to surprise you with the stabbing, I think. That's the way it felt to me.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of just escalated a bit, didn't it? So I think he stabbed one person. And then
it had like a real sharp curve.
It kind of went from like 2 people being involved, and then he stabbed someone else, and then it was like 4 people. So it was like slowly building out. And then at the end, he was like blood everywhere, and he saw the guy.
Very much a snowball effect, dude.
Yeah.
Man, he stabbed the shit out of people. And then my favorite part of that scene was it's all quiet, and you're like, oh God, thank God it's over with. And then the other guy starts stabbing people with the keys, and you're like, oh my God, it's happening again. Like,
and then that woman jumped and started chewing on that guy's neck, and
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they start sexually assaulting each other, and you're like, "Yo, what is going on, bro? Like, this movie is so fucking nuts, dude." Oh man, when this channel gets monetized, videos like this will never ever reach that criteria. Like, they're gonna be like, "Soggy toast, no, burnt." Fucking but yeah, dude.
Yeah. Then it pans back to Molly, the larger girl.
Oh yeah. Oh man, dude. Did she not look like a character from Ricky O? She 100% did. I don't mean to be an asshole, but I will be an asshole. She looked like a sumo wrestler. Anyways, well, I mean, I gotta fucking mute that part out. I'm gonna get canceled. God damn it, dude. Oh god, people are such pussies. Okay. I'm a fat loser that does YouTube videos. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, yeah. Her name is Lucy.
Molly.
What, Lucy? She's sitting there, and then out of nowhere, dude, old buddy's fucking umbrella. She's just like clack right in her eye. I was like, oh shit. She's like, ah. She's like, oh, thank you for saving my life. Ah, fucking. Girl had the worst luck, and then oh shit. So they eventually get off the train, and they're like running down, I guess, like the train station. They're trying to exit that and come out onto the street, and they're running down the hallway, and old girl's all busted up, man. He stabbed her right in the eye with that thing, and she's like, you know, oh, and they run into that guy, and he's like, what the fuck, man, are you blind? And then she like looks up, and he goes, oh, you are blind. Bro, I was laughing so hard when that shit happened, man. That was awesome. But he ends up getting fucked up by that old man. Oh, that's when he gets the axe. He breaks that little you know, in case of emergency, break glass thing.
After chewing someone's nose off.
Oh yeah, he chews his nose off, but then doesn't actually tear it off. Just lets it hang there like an asshole. Golly, man, what's wrong with people? Oh god, yeah, this movie is so fucked up. And as the girls are getting away, they turn down a hallway and they see like a door open. It's got like one of them, you know, garage door type things where it drops, you know, automatically. And they see like a security guy out there, and they're like, "Hey, help us!" He's like, "Fuck that!" And he just closes the door on them. And so they start running out there, and you know, they narrowly escape. You think he's gonna get one of them, and he doesn't, which is kind of I think that was kind of cool, because you know, in any other movie he would have gotten the big girl, and that would have been her demise. But no, they get out.
The plans for her.
Oh yeah, there was definitely, yeah, there was plans for her. They were gonna go on a dinner date of sorts. Fucking A, man. This movie is so ridiculous. Like, I just don't even know how. Like, who writes this script and goes, "All right, would you like to fund this?" Some guy reads it and goes, "Fuck yeah!" Actually, you know what? That would be me. So never mind. Yeah, I would definitely fund something like this if I had the money. But how don't they start arguing with that security guard and calling him names and shit? Because he's like,
yeah, they punched. Well, Molly punched him in the face.
oh, that's right. That fucking dude. Yeah, this shit sound like it hurt too. Look at thwap, like punch right in the face. And they end up going to like what, an ER? Like a
the hospital
center. Yeah, hospital. And you know, they're seeing things on this like TV, and they're kind of like things are unraveling. Oh, it's the like the national broadcast, the emergency broadcast thing that they're seeing. And I believe the news comes on at some point and it's talking about it, or the news is on and then it turns to that thing or something like that happens. And you're starting to see like, oh shit, stuff's really bad all over the city. And then when do we go back to old buddy, to the boyfriend? Is this about the time? Because I think the hospital waiting room scene was divided into two parts. It starts off there, and then it cuts to the dude, right?
Yeah, so I think they got there, and then they got Molly seen to. Like, I think a nurse takes her off. Okay. And then I think it cuts to the boyfriend, and he was, yeah. So he was, I think he was like driving through, like,
he was like riding his moped across town, and he ran across some kids at the basketball court.
Yeah, there's a bit bit we missed where he first gets the bike, which is just after he gets his fingers cut off.
Oh yeah, and it's like he's trying to be all quiet. It goes thunk, and everybody looks up at him, and then he's like riding off, but he's only going fast enough for them to be running after him. It looked like it was bad news for him. I was like, oh shit, here we go.
But that arm break was pretty good as well.
Oh man, that was gnarly on the staircase, and they stomped that dude's arm. Oh god, there were so many like little things like that I've just blocked out of my memory. I'm gonna have to watch this movie like 5 more times. Dude, my memory is so bad. I literally wrote all this shit down last night, and I still can't remember it. Like my brain is just like, nah, dude, I'm good. It's because I have too much going on. If I would slow down and just do 1 video a day, I could probably remember stuff better, but that wouldn't be fun. So, what was the reason for the arm break?
I think they were just doing it. I think they just found there was like a group of them had found someone.
Yeah, they were just fucking that kid up on the side of the road. Dude, just the unexplained violence in this movie. This is how you get to that point, though. Is you got to have some kind of virus so you can not have to explain it. But it was so good, bro. Man, he goes up on them kids and he pulls up and they're like beating the shit out of this guy, like bad, like hitting him with fucking sticks and stuff.
That's just after he got chased by that half naked guy.
Wait, what?
So he was crawling through the streets really quietly, and he sort of comes across some ambulance that was all turned up on, it crashed.
Okay. Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that part. No, go ahead, continue.
No, yeah, it was just some guy. I think he was probably having his way with a dead body, and then.
Oh, and then he starts chasing him on the moped. And that's when he runs across those kids in the park, right?
Yeah.
Like right after that, and then he's like driving by and he just kind of looks over and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he stops, and these kids are just like ruthlessly beating this guy, and they're basically one of them runs up and hits him on top of the head with a bat, whack, and he just like falls over, and the guy's like, "What? I tell you by hitting him in the head with a bat," and then it looks as though he's. Yeah, it looks like he's dead though. They're like what they called it something. They're like, what about this? Like nut bash or some shit.
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker. Oh my god, this movie's amazing. Oh, bro. So they wrap this basketball goal post with barbed wire, and then each kid gets on the side of him, and it's like 2 on each side. And they ram this dude's nuts. Like 2 of them hold his legs open, and the other 2 just run him and smack his nuts on this fucking barbed wire. And I almost vomited. And like, bro. And then old buddy runs up and basically stops them and throws something at one of them, and they run off. And then the guy's on the ground laying there, and he's like, "Why'd you make him stop? I was just about to come." I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, there's so much stuff in this movie that I don't understand why, like how they got there. But that guy was my fucking hero, dude. Why'd you make him stop? I was just about to come. Bro, what? Why? What do you mean? What are you talking about, bro? Your dick's probably in 14 pieces right now. Oh, jeez Louise. And then he's like standing there talking to that guy, and a fucking rock hits him in the head. He's like, whap! Or was it in the back? Something hits him somewhere, and it's a fucking rock. And the kids are like, "What? You think we were just leaving, bro?" No, we went to go get weapons, asshole. And chase him out of there. Those kids were awesome. Oh my god. We need to get a movie scene where it's like those kids versus the Warriors kids. Like, Warriors come out and whack! Oh shit, dude, I'm hyper as fuck today. This is what happens when I'm really tired. So, okay, at this point, do we go back to the hospital? Dude, feel free to just cut me off and jibber jabber, bro.
Yeah,
it's not gonna bother me at all.
No, it's good. It's all good.
I'm trying to think. So,
yeah,
I think
he realizes he can't get to her, doesn't he? Because like the tunnel's blocked, or he has to go somewhere.
Oh, that's right. That is a part that I definitely forgot about. The fact that he couldn't get to her, and he was trying to, and then fuck, dude, I can't remember. There's like this weird spot in the middle of the movie that I can't recall very well.
Yeah.
I
So
remember the beginning.
I think this is the bit where she takes the phone from the guy.
Oh yeah, it does go back to the hospital.
Yeah.
And they're in there, and she's waiting in the waiting room watching the TV, and that little security prick that didn't want to help her. He's got a phone, and she's like, "Can I use your phone?" And he goes, but she says it. She goes, "Can I use your phone?" She doesn't say, "Can I make a call?" She's like, "Can I use your?" Oh no, she maybe. They get into an argument about it because he gives her the phone, and then she's like, "Well, unlock it," and he unlocks it, and it's like that anime chick with the big boobs. Dude, the little subtleties in this movie are so good, man. And that girl, you can just see her face. She's like, "Oh, you fucking gross ass," and I'm like, I'll give the guy a break, man. He's an incel, dude. He fucking gets all mad at her. Sorry, that was driving me nuts. He gets all mad at her for wanting to use the phone, but then she has to do it through like an app or whatever to make the phone call. Oh, she's like, "Who remembers phone numbers?" He's like, "I do." I'm like, "Of course you do, you lonely motherfucker." Oh,
he's only got one to remember.
Do what?
He's only got one to remember.
Oh, geez, that's so sad. Is that what the case was? Is that really what it was?
I don't know, probably.
Oh, fuck. I thought dude, for a second, I thought you saw something I didn't see, and I was like, "Oh, that poor bastard." But so she takes the phone. Oh,
but he makes the call. She makes the call to him, and he kind of is talking to her, and then he kind of zones out a bit.
Oh yeah, and you're like, "Oh."
He's looking at that weird, well, not weird, but that doll's head in the
the mannequin head. It was in the river. And it turns like alive for a second, and it starts talking with a black tongue and shit. That's right. That was weird. For a minute, whenever that happened in the movie, I told my wife, I said, "Wait, am I tripping? Was that the mannequin head? Was that really a person?" And she's like, "No, it's actually a mannequin head." And I was like, "Oh man, dude's got he's got the fucking what do you want to call it? The itch, the sadness, the fucking it is the sadness, I guess, huh?" Anyways, as they're talking on the phone, but so at the hospital, that police dude comes in, and he's like, "We're gonna close this place up. They're gonna lock it up." And that's what happens. He locks it up, and he's talking to everybody, and that dude with the axe walks up behind him in the window, and fucking breaks the window open, and like hits him with the axe.
Yeah, but just before that, there was the national service broadcast thing.
Oh, that's right. And everybody's like, "What the fuck's happening?" The guy gets up there and talks. The like
president or
president.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck, dude. Oh man, he's up there talking about how they're gonna defeat this thing, and his like major general guy grabs him and he like shakes his hand or whatever, and then he pulls a grenade out, pulls the pin, shoves it in his mouth, pushes it like in his mouth, holds his head, spins him around, and the guy looks into the camera like, "Oh!" And then his fucking head explodes. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. This dude, that's when at that point right there is when Carissa goes, "Oh, this reminds me of Mayhem." Something very similar to that happens in that movie. I love stuff like this, dude. I'll take a movie like this it's just like a formulaic virus zombie attack type thing movie over some like snarky fucking thumb up at you fucking horror movie any day, man. I want just fun. There's a time and place for me to watch something that I would consider at this point, I call it A24 type films, but stuff like that. I do like that on occasion, and I'm not trying to just shit on them. They're just the ones that are known for making those kind of movies the most.
Yeah.
So if I say an A24 type film, or I guess I could just call it elevated horror, whatever. Those kind of movies, you know what I'm talking about when I say like I like those on occasion. Especially since I've been hanging out with Josh over the years, like that's definitely more his cup of tea. And it's funny too because we've both rubbed off on each other like quite a bit. Like I watch movies that he's like. Do what?
I bet you have.
Oh, dude. The stuff that he watches now, it blows my mind that he likes some of it, man. Like, I can't believe he likes Brain Damage. It blew my fucking mind. When we first met, there's no way he would have liked that movie. Not even a little bit. Or Basket Case, for that matter. None of those movies. He loves Bad Milo. That's his favorite movie. But the other
doesn't?
Fucking me. Anybody with half a sense. Dude, I could not believe how bad that movie was. Dude, I was sad. I was mad at myself, dude. But so it blows up old Buddy's head on the screen. the hospital starts going crazy. The dude breaks into the window, starts hacking people up, and then they start running from him basically. And and then the girlfriend takes the phone, and she sees a door, so she just dips out and then locks the door. And then that guy's banging on the door, and I think he just is forced to bail. But she's like, "Nah, I ain't opening this door." And from there, it goes to the rest of the people in the hospital. It starts to go off on this little mini tangent. I think that is when, man, it's either then or right after this. Whenever he gets old girl with the eye hole,
and
dude, he walks up to her. She's sitting on a chair. She's like freaking out, crying. That security guy's hidden underneath like this like server cart thing. He's a small guy. He gets up underneath there. It's hanging out like a sheet hanging over it. And he's like, oh my God. He crawls under there. He's hiding. And all of a sudden, the guy with the axe appears. This fellow on the screen here, he appears, and Molly's sitting on his chair, and he's like calling her names, and they're arguing back and forth. And he like, what is it? How does he hold her there? What does he do? Does he just hold her? I can't remember.
Yeah, he just he just starts like taking his
Oh, that's right, dude. Yeah, she's like looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he just starts unbuttoning this shit. Yeah. Oh my God, bro. And then he just penetrates her eye hole, and has a merry old time. And it was gross, and it sounded nasty. And that poor bastard underneath that cart was like, "Gadoosh, gadoosh, gadoosh," and he's like, ah. And that poor bastard's like, "Oh my God." What happened to him though? He did something happened to him. He got up there and ran into somebody. He ran into that room with them naked people. They were all bloody, naked, and humping. What is with this fucking movie, dude? This movie is wild. This movie is amazing. This is amazing. I love this fucking movie, dude. Like, this is like shit, man. My 2022 top 10 list is going to be crazy this year. I think that Watcher is going to be very high on that list, though. It's going to be tough to beat that movie. And that movie is like the literal opposite of this movie. It is the opposite, dude. Slow burn, very little actual gore and violence. But it is like, this movie was wild and fun, and it would scare a kid. Whereas Watcher would not scare a kid because they wouldn't really know what was going on. And it's like, this movie, I had a blast watching, and Watcher was creepy as fuck. So like, I like recognizing things like that. I think that's good for the genre because it takes all kinds, man. And I don't want to get like, as much as I want these kind of movies, I don't want to get stuck just watching these. I do want some A24 type stuff on my plate, man. I got a section, especially made for stuff like that. I want those movies occasionally, but this year's list is going to be fun, man. I'm excited. We're already halfway through the year almost, Isn't that crazy? Already halfway through the year almost.
Yeah. Still got Black Phone to come out.
Bro, I cannot wait for that movie. And Terrifier 2, hopefully, bro. Are you kidding me? What a year, bro. Dude, Terrifier 2, I'm like getting sweaty thinking about it, dude. I cannot wait for that fucking movie, man. If it's a disappointment, I'm going to cry so hard, like literal tears, like a little baby. I'm going to go in this bitch and just start moaning. I can't imagine it's going to be bad, though. I talked to David about it a couple of times, and he is like legit excited. So, anyways, let's get back to the sadness. This is what happens. My ADD is like, yo, hey, psst, don't forget about me. You don't take medication for this anymore, man. Come on, let's do this. So he gets basically, do they take him out? The bloody people, they fuck him up pretty bad, don't they?
Well, yeah, he sneaks past the kind of the orgy, and then he stumbles upon Molly, who's eating a corpse.
Dude, I forgot she was doing that, and she just like spits it out. It looks so gross.
And then I think he kicks something over.
Oh no, he's trying to creep back the other way, and he steps on that bedpan. Yeah, and he goes da-ding, da-ding.
Backing up, and then you just see like the orgy crowd just standing there.
Oh, yeah, dude. What a
and then
weird
she's
movie.
got that. They grab him.
She got that like bone saw.
Bone saw, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that part, bro. She's like hacking that dude up. That's what she was doing. She was cutting him up and eating. There's so much shit in this movie, bro. We've missed so much stuff. People that haven't watched this movie yet, even if you watch this video, we're missing a bunch of stuff, which is fine. I mean, we're not supposed to go through every single detail, but like, go check this movie out, man. If you don't have Shudder yet, it's like $5 a month, man. This is a great service.
It's worth it just for this film.
dude, it's such a good service, man. Between Shudder and Tubi, I could literally cut off everything else that I have and be perfectly fine.
Yeah, but when she was using that saw, there was just like tons of blood, and then there was just like chunks of stuff.
Oh, like oh, so gross, dude. Oh,
okay.
on the train fight earlier, we forgot to mention that one dude gets like was he decapitated? No, he got stabbed, didn't he? And it
stabbed in the
raised
neck.
up, and it's like a geyser, dude. It's like just this enormous amount of blood. It was awesome, man. I mean,
it's almost like that Shining scene, you know, with the blood coming out.
Yes,
it's just that much. It's just
that's really what it looked like. It was, dude. It was, yeah. It looked like they had like a hose behind the person. Like, all right, tell us when. It was awesome, and it was really I liked this is gonna sound weird, but I liked the color that they made that the blood was in this movie. It was a real deep, dark.
Yeah.
Now it was a little too thick and gelatinous for me to be realistic enough. But the stuff on the floor looked pretty real. I've seen blood on a floor of like a tile floor, and it looked very similar to that. Real thick, dark, almost purple looking color. And it wasn't like a weird situation. I cut my foot open and it was all over my floor in the kitchen. Dude, I was walking through this. Yo, check this shit out. So I was walking through this like playground area. I was a little kid when this happened, and I was walking, and oh my god, I'm gonna tell this again on story time. I think, dude, or telling stories. I have to come up with something to talk about. So I'm walking through this park when I was a kid, and my mom always told me, you know, throw on at least some flip flops or something. And I was just barefoot, walking around like a dumbass. And fortunately, I was really close to my house. I don't know what would happen if I wasn't. I'm walking through this playground, and I get to this basketball court. It's a cement basketball court, and it's like got trees. And to the right of me is a picnic table, a sidewalk, and then like a parking lot. So I'm walking to get to the parking lot because like further up to my like right is a swimming pool. That's where I was going. I was going to the swimming pool, and I'm walking. I felt like a pinch on my foot. I was like, ow. And I kept walking. I didn't even look. I just kept walking. And I heard like this splash. And I was like, what the fuck? I looked down and I was stepping in puddles of blood, making footprints with my right foot. And I was like, what in the world? You know how if you cut yourself, it doesn't really hurt until you notice it? So then I was like, oh my God, my foot. And I looked down and there was like this, I don't want to be like super gross about it, but it was a very big, deep gash on my foot. What had happened was somebody, I guess, had broken a bottle. And you know how the bottom of the bottles have that like little circle base and they almost never break? It's always a solid piece. It was like a shark fin. It was like a circle and then like a shark fin of glass. And I guess I had just stepped on top of it and it was so sharp that I didn't really feel it go in, but it cut me open bad. And so when I ran home, I was bleeding profusely, dude, everywhere. There was fucking blood all the way to my house. And they had to like power wash it off the sidewalk. But that's how I know what blood looks like on the tile floor. It was fucking everywhere, man. My mom came in the house and was like, ah! I'm surprised she didn't faint, dude, because I was just screaming. So she comes running in the house. And I mean, I don't even remember what happened to my foot. I don't remember going to the hospital or anything. I probably did, but I was pretty young. I don't remember it. I don't even remember like having it bandaged up or anything, but I'm positive it had to have been stitched, dude. There's no way they couldn't stitch it up. Like it had to have been. It was a big, big cut. Anyways, back to this horrendous movie about people getting skull fucked. Bro, when he does that to her, that's a whole different level of crazy, man. A whole different level of crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that in a movie before. That was fucking nuts, man. You always hear about it, like, oh, I'm gonna do this to you, and you're like, huh? That'd be crazy if they actually put that in a movie one day. Well, they did. It took them until 2021, but they did it. So, okay, what happens after this, man? I'm starting to get foggy on this stuff.
So I think she's hiding, and I think
the girlfriend's hiding, right?
Yeah. And then I think some other people who are infected sort of stumble upon her and start chasing her, and then she goes up the stairs.
Oh, she finally takes her heels off at that point. She gets up on that platform and Carissa made a point to mention that. She's like, there you go. Take off the damn heels, because she was running around them shits the whole movie. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all right. And then, she goes up to the maternity ward, and they're trying to get through, and she puts that thing through, like a bed guard through the door, and then the old guy's like comes up and is like, I'm gonna fuck you till you're dead or something. How
does she get to the point where that trash bag was in the trash can? Is that much later?
So it's just before. So this is where she kills the old guy. So she hides.
And then she finds that in the trash can, or before?
No, that's after. So she grabs one of the extinguishers and then she hides, and then he comes.
Oh, that's right.
The old guy. She sort of sprays him with,
the
fire extinguisher. And then just stoves his head in.
Hell yeah! Wait, what'd you call it? Stoves his head in?
Stove. Yeah.
Stoves his head in. What does that mean? I mean, I know what it means, but like, what's the, like? Is that a term that's? See, guys, I'm from Houston, Texas. Where are you from, Jamie?
Newcastle.
See, we talk a little bit different, so every now and then I have to go, huh? Because I'm a fucking dumb redneck. But you're speaking of redneck. Yesterday I was trying to film, dude, and I was all blotchy from being in the sun. Fuck that. I looked horrible. I don't know what I was talking about that for, but anyways, dude, I'm telling you, bro, I can't pay attention sometimes. So she ends up killing old buddy.
It reminded me of, have you seen Irreversible?
I don't believe so.
No.
That one doesn't sound familiar. Irreversible? Let me look at the cover of it real fast. I can tell you.
Vincent Cassel and Monica Bellucci.
Oh shit, maybe I have.
It's quite old, but it's well known for being rough to watch.
You know what? I haven't seen this, but I'm writing this one down because I fucking love Vincent Cassel. That guy's like, he's probably like my favorite non-American actor that I can recall off the top of my head. If you were to ask me, like, hey, well, that's not true because there's probably lots of English actors that I don't recall, that I don't realize are English actors. But he's one of the top guys when I think of non-American guys who I really, really enjoy and who I go and watch their movies. He's one of them. He did one called what's one of his bigger movies that got him going?
This La Haine,
there's that one. He did a bunch of really great dramas in the early 2000s. He did a bunch, like maybe even earlier than that, in like late 90s. He did a lot of like really good thriller type movies. He broke in the US doing some stuff with like Bruce Willis and shit, I think, or one of those guys, one of those big action guys. And
he's been in loads,
dude. So many movies. He was in. I just watched a movie called Derailed with Jennifer Aniston and Clive Owen, and he's like the bad guy in that. Dude, what's this one called again? Irreversible? Where the fuck is my notepad? Whatever, I'll write it on this. I just want to be able to remember that.
It's a tough watch, but it's good.
But it's on Tubi of all things. Of course it is, right? So I'll check that out. I'm just going to stick a light on. Sorry. No, you're good, brother. Your camera was like, what the fuck? I was asleep.
Nice. That's worse.
Do you have a bathroom light you can turn on? Or like a hallway light? Or a closet light?
Maybe. 2 seconds.
That's perfect. Yes, there you go. That's like probably ideal, to be honest. Maybe get like a $10 ring light from Amazon if you want to keep doing these. If you want to, you don't have to. I don't care. This is fine like this too. I don't give a shit. As long as the audio is the most important thing, man. People don't want to hear bad audio. They don't mind seeing a middle of the road
picture. Better off not seeing my face anyway. So
do what?
Better off not seeing my face. So
come on, man. Bro, they can look at me. They can look at anybody. Fucking. All right, so where are we at in this movie? So she kills dude, she's like kills that old guy and then opens the trash can. She hears a noise in there.
No. So the doctor, the virologist or whatever he is, he opens the door and sort of invites her in, and then tells her to get in the shower.
Oh, this is all before the baby thing?
Yeah.
Dude, why do I have it so backwards right now? I have it like straight fucked up. All right, so continue.
Because he hoses her down with some sort of disinfectant.
Yeah. Yeah, she's all covered in blood and goop.
Yeah. And then he tells her to get changed because he wants to do some blood test on her, I guess because she's not infected. And then she's like sneaking her phone around, gets dressed in some scrubs, and then she goes to put her clothes in the trash, and that's when it starts like making a noise.
Yeah, but doesn't he make her handcuff herself to the wall?
Yeah, yes. So she handcuffs herself to the shower, I think.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't. Oh, that's before that. Because he's like, I don't know you. He's like, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I can't risk being in here with you without you being, what would you call that? Restrained. And which, you know, you kind of can't really argue with that logic. The guy, that makes sense. But at the same time, you're really empathetic to what she's going through, and you're like, man, like, I don't know if I could do that, man. You may have to kill me, bro. Like, I don't know if I'm handcuffing myself to anything in this situation. Like, you may as well just go and shoot me in the head, bro. Like, let's go and get it over with, dude. Like,
I just got out.
Yeah, yeah. You need to run the fuck out of there. Something, man. I'm not dealing with that shit. But yeah, she hears a noise after she gets out of there. She hears a noise in the trash can and like opens it up, and it's like this black bag, and it's kind of moving, but it's definitely crying. And you're like, oh Jesus.
And she opens it, and you see the baby with the eyes.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my god, this is fucked up. Doesn't she like just bash its head in or something?
No. He like pulls the gun out again and tells her to get back in the shower and handcuff herself.
Oh, right then?
Yeah. And then he puts on the glove and goes and sort of strangles it.
I'm positive I've seen a baby that was like a little zombie baby get bashed with something. So I got to figure out what movie that was from. That's fun. Oh man, you remember the Dawn of the Dead remake, baby? That was a good zombie baby. Bro, this channel is for people that have massive problems paying attention for more than about 15 seconds because I can't. I'm with you guys. I feel your pain. Do you ever have problems like that? You seem like you're pretty slowed down though, man. My brain just goes, dang, and I can't focus on shit, dude. I mean, I assume that's what that ADD. I've been diagnosed with ADD, but that was way back in the day, so I'm positive it's transformed itself into something else by now. But I have an issue paying attention, man. And it's rough, dude. Anyways, fucking baby got bashed or choked out, huh? That's what happens when you're a devil, baby. How did she get on the handcuffs?
Well, he let her out because he like she was looking at the baby, and then he jabbed her in the neck with some blood, some infected blood. Then he tells her to go and handcuff herself again to see if she changes or whether she's immune.
Why would he think she's immune?
Because she hadn't
changed yet?
She hadn't changed, yeah.
And so he was basically just... Man, I forgot he hit her with that syringe. I forgot all about that part.
Yeah, and then, like, while...
What a fucked up thing to do to somebody.
Yeah.
That's, like, really dark. Like, if you really think about it,
that's what he was doing to the babies, wasn't it? He started going on his rant about, like, they were there.
Son of a bitch. I was trying to figure out how the baby got sick. That's how the baby got sick, man. That makes so much sense. He was saying,
well, I stopped them being eaten by, the psychos outside, but they were going to die anyway, so I thought I'd just do my little experiment on them, see if it worked.
So this is the problem with me having to read dialogue, is that if I read something, I can read it 500 times and I simply won't remember it. But if I hear it, I'll remember it. This is why this is why I like audiobooks a lot, because I remember what's going on in the audiobooks far better than I do reading a book. Because when I read stuff, my mind wanders, and it happens in movies too. I'll be reading the dialogue and I'll just be paying attention to all the shit in the background and not really what they're saying. So I don't even remember him saying that. And I've seen the movie twice already. That shit is crazy. It's kind of funny at times, but it's really debilitating when I'm trying to do stuff like movie reviews. That's why I developed this Gore score thing, so I could help make my reviews a little more interesting and keep them kind of uniform, man. It was really out of necessity more than anything. But we're almost at the end of the movie, guys. Don't worry. We're going to wrap this up in a minute. I'll give you guys the Gore score, and we'll head on out. So, okay. So she doesn't turn. He lets her out. What happened to him? I don't remember. Did she kill him, or did he die, or did he just stay there?
He's getting messaged that he's going to be picked up by some helicopter. So he goes.
That's right. That's what it was. That's how she had the helicopter option. Was that guy? Was that guy? Because he was getting taken out of there because he was part of a government medical situation. Okay. They needed. Okay. Yeah. Bro, all that happens so fast. If you're not paying a lot of attention, I don't know how you recall this stuff so well. I genuinely don't. Like Josh does too, man. Y'all remember things so freaking well. It's why I like having people on here to talk with me about this stuff. If I had to do it
I
by
watched it
myself,
again last night.
well, so did I. Like, if I do all this by myself, I would be a wreck. This is why my solo reviews are so short. They're like 10 minutes. I don't need them to be an hour long. It's just me talking. So she's like waiting on her fella to get there, right? And he's trying to make it
to
the hospital so they can get on the helicopter, maybe.
Yeah. So while I think while she was being, just after she'd been jabbed, she kind of messages him and says she's on the 8th floor or whatever, because he says I'm nearly there or something. And so they walk out of that room, and then the guy gets his foot chopped off.
Oh shit! I forgot about that part.
And then he shoots the guy who did that, and then the two other psychos who were trapped outside get in, and then one of them throws up on his foot.
This movie is so ridiculous.
And he ends up killing them, and then the boyfriend turns up.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, as you're saying, I'm trying to remember it all like in my head, and it's so difficult. Whenever, because this is pretty much the end of the movie. It's like less than 5 minutes left of the movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost over at this point. Yeah, dude. I mean, basically, boyfriend isn't he's sick now, right?
Yeah, he's fully gone.
Yeah, he's fully gone. She bails and opens the door. You hear a helicopter, you don't see nothing, and then credits roll. Like, you really don't know what. This is a very ambiguous end. Is ambiguous the right word? I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. It's a very kind of up in the air ending, which I kind of like. I kind of like that about it, because you can kind of let it go in your head. They left it open to where if they really wanted to make another movie, they probably could. If they don't want to, this is a nice end for the movie. Yeah, man. The Sadness, dude, is a crazy ass movie. It is way up there on recent movies for me. I really, really like this one a lot. It was I feel like it's got a lot of rewatchability, because if you watch it more than once, 2-3 times, you're gonna see stuff in it that you didn't see before. There was a I wish I would have written it down. There on the train, there was something that was funny that was in the background. What was it, dude? Maybe I might have put it on my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, there were definitely like loads of little bits and pieces in the background, whether it was, bodies or, just loads of cool special effects and.
Dude, all kinds of cool stuff, man. I don't think I wrote it down.
Setting the scene and stuff. It was really well done. Like the special effects company were amazing.
I thought that the special effects were just fantastic. Let me go over my Gore score real quick, and then we'll cap this video. Excuse me. So, for anybody that's not familiar, Gore score 6. There's 6 special effects, story, acting, dialogue, bad guy rating, and the ending. They all get a score of 1 to 10, and then you get specific points for all the other stuff, right? So on all of those 6, I gave them all a 10, except the story. I gave it an 8 because it was kind of, typical. We've heard this story a bunch of times, but it was still updated to modern times, so I didn't want to give it like a 5. Okay, so I got 58 points out of that, but there was 31 kills. 31 kills. There was 14 severed limbs. There was 3 broken bones, 1 extra bone through the skin. There was 2 decapitations, 5 scenes that I considered torturous in this movie. So there was 5 scenes of torture. There was only a shockingly low amount of stabbings in this movie that were non-fatal. There was only 7. There was 12 fistfights in the movie, and there were 5 things that I didn't feel like fit into any specific category that would get a 5-point badass bonus, and that was the following: the eating of the finger, I thought earned a nice bonus. The neck geyser on the train from the dude's neck getting sprayed all over the top of the train. The massacre on the train, because it starts up a second time and you don't really expect that. I thought that was pretty cool. Nutcracker and skull fucking. All of those get you 5 extra points. So you get a grand total. Bro, this was a big one, man. The Sadness got 563 fucking points, man. It is the 4th highest scoring movie that I've ever reviewed on my channel. It would go in the order of number 4 would be The Sadness. Then you got From Dusk Till Dawn with 690 points. You got Officer Down with 760 points, and then Frankenhooker had like 800 and something points, 815 or something like that. It was crazy. Most of that was tits though, which
Never.
Yeah, dude, 563 points for a movie with no actual nudity in it is pretty rare. I score a lot of movies, man, and most of them getting like the 250 to 300 points for like a good horror movie. So 563, that's a lot, man. That's a big score. So if anybody's wondering, man, you should go check this movie out. We have a recommendation scale on here too, is 1 to 10. If you can't tell, I'm giving that a 10 as a recommendation. It absolutely needs to be watched, and people need to support movies like this. Watch it as many times as you can on Shudder because they get paid for every. It's like a what do you call that? It's they basically get points for every time it gets viewed on this streaming service, and that's how they can tell how to fund other movies. They go, oh, how many times? Because they all get paid through advertising and then through our subscription fees, and it's a weird algorithmic thing, but it needs to be watched on those platforms if it's possible. It counts for a lot. I like to buy my copy on Blu-ray so it gets the ding on that, and then I'll just watch it on the services while it's available. I do that frequently, so we can try to help these, because this, at the end of the day, this is still a pretty small movie. This isn't anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it ever even went to theaters. I don't think so. It might not. It might have over there somewhere, but.
So there's a pretty good interview on the I think it's probably on the disc as well, with the director. Where he's talking about it. It's worth a watch.
Is it subtitled, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's English. So, he's Canadian.
Wait, the director of this is Canadian?
Yeah.
That's fucking shocking. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Really?
Yeah. I think he's a writer who works out in Taiwan.
That's awesome. That's cool. Oh man, yeah, this movie was just absolutely fantastic to me. Is there a part that would stick out to your? I guess that lady jumping off the building probably is my favorite part because that shit was so not expected. They did it so well. That part was executed with perfection, man. Is there any other parts of the movie that really stuck out to you as just something that you thought was really cool? Or I really like the grease on the person's head because they went as far as doing that and then going back to that person and showing them pull off melted skin, because they could have easily not done that and it would have been almost as effective just to see the guy's head get dumped on with grease, because that shit is just, the thought of that is horrifying. So
I don't know. There were so many bits and pieces in it.
I was just curious if there's something else that just kind of stuck out in your head. But yeah, the movie was
definitely the woman flying off the building.
Oh, dude, that was, yeah, dude, because it just comes out of nowhere. You're just like, you're paying attention to like the bottom left-hand part of your right-hand part of your screen, and then from the top left, all of a sudden you just hear a noise. You look up and it's this lady already in full swan dive. You're like, oh my god, she's definitely jumping off of there. Yeah, dude. And then I like how the camera follows her because it doesn't show you the ground until it gets close, and you're not really sure where she's gonna land. And then she just hits cement, and you're like, oh my god, oh, that's awesome. But yeah, man. So how much do you like this movie, man? If you had to give it a kind of a rating on a scale like I do, like what would you give this movie?
I think probably like a good 9.5.
I know, right? It's that good, dude. It's funny too, because I don't think Chris and Josh agree with that. I think both of them didn't like it as much as we did.
Yeah. I think it is what it is. It's like, it's not trying to be some clever,
No, it's not trying to win awards or anything.
There's no real. I mean, it's kind of tried to give a bit of a message in a few places, I think, but I don't think it went out.
I even think that stuff was like tongue in cheek, even, man. Like they're like, it was like making fun of how ridiculous we're being about this virus stuff, that we're being like a little overboard with it sometimes. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood that, but that's what it felt like to me. But I really enjoyed it. I think that this movie, the people that created it, I really hope they get another chance at making a film because I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
Yeah, definitely.
But man, we'll have to get back on here in the next few weeks and do another one if you have the time.
Yeah, always.
We'll chat in Discord. So if anybody wants to support these channels, further than just subscribing or whatever, we do have Patreon, and I've also got a membership on my other channel. Anybody that's a part of either of those things can be on the Discord with us, and it's a pretty cool group of people. It's a relatively small group at this point, but we're all getting to be pretty good friends on there, and this is where we come up with our ideas. Also, anybody that's a patron member gets, requests granted every month that without any kind of, that's part of the idea is you get input on the channel. That's the biggest perk you can have, is that if you're doing something like that for the channel, that you get your input heard, if you so desire. Otherwise, man, it's just very cool to have people that give a crap enough to come on here and actually subscribe and watch the videos with us and chat in the comments, jump on the live streams. It's pretty amazing that I have this going on, man. I'm just some guy, so it's pretty awesome. So thank you for your support. I do appreciate it. I'll be back pretty soon with more videos. Jamie will be back in a few weeks. We'll have another video for you guys. I'll try to put it in the excuse me, the community tab, what we're going to watch maybe a week out, so y'all know what's coming. I need to be a little bit better about that and let people know what we're going to watch, so they know what videos are coming out. So maybe we'll do one of these on a live stream one of these days. Who knows? But awesome, dude. Thanks for hanging out, Jamie. I appreciate it, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. Everybody else, y'all have a great day, and we'll be back real soon. All right? Peace.